Ed Conard, income inequality has been a rallying cry from the president to the mayor of New York City. You say it's not a problem. Tell me why.
Well, if we create another Steve Jobs, tell me why that's going to hurt the lower class or the middle class. I think when you look at the performance of the U.S. relative to Europe and Japan, if income inequality was bad, we'd see our performance slowing down. But we see our performance accelerating relative to those economies. The U.S. grew 75% since 1981. Since 1980, we've created about a 50% increase in employment. France and Germany have created less than half as much growth. Japan, less than a third as much growth. At this period when we said we were hurting the middle class, and we were hurting low-skilled workers. We polled, today we have 37 million adult immigrants in our country and 16 million adult native-born children from those immigrants. So we have about a 53 million adult increase in our population from immigration at a time when we claim this was detrimental to the middle class.
And one way a lot of politicians who say it's detrimental to the middle class want to fix the situation is they want to raise the minimum wage. We had a report from the CBO out saying that if you raise the minimum wage, it would kill 500,000 jobs, but it would lift millions out of poverty.
Yeah,
what's your view about that particular report? It
says it'll lift 900,000 out of poverty. When you read the footnotes in that report, it has an awful lot of caveats. So one of the most interesting things is 20% of the money that gets transferred as a result of the minimum wage ends up in families in poverty. 80% does not end up in families in poverty. And in fact, 30% ends up in families which are earning 3 times more than the wages for the poverty income. So it's sitting at the highest end of the distribution instead of at the lowest end of the distribution. If you read further into the report and read other CBO reports, it says that the Earned Income Tax Credit is a much more efficient way to distribute money to the poor as opposed to the minimum wage. So you have to transfer about $7 to get $1 to poverty by transferring through the minimum wage. If you do it through the Earned Income Tax Credit, it's closer to $1.50. If you look at the marginal tax rate of workers who are at the poverty level, so if you work 2,000 hours a year and you make $7.50 an hour and you're a single mother raising a child and you get a pay raise from $7.50 to $10. According to the CBO, the marginal tax rate is in the range of 65 to 95% because of the benefits that you lose. So the ironic part about this is we're going to tax the customers of businesses that pay the minimum wage, like fast food restaurants, for example, who tend to be younger families, poorer families. We're going to hand that money to the employees, and then they're going to hand 65 to 95 cents back to the taxpayers who skew towards the richest people in the economy.
The so-called unintended consequence. Thanks a lot, Ed. And thank you for watching The Street.